Welcome
to Doctor Who Time and Space, episode 176.
I'm Decool.
You ruined my joke. I was going to say I'm Decool.
Oh no! See, I was too.
You're too quick.
Too quick.
You're too quick.
Yeah.
I'm Loose Moon.
And I'm Loose Moon. No!
You keep ruining it.
And I'm Decool. Thank you very much for joining us on today's Doctor Who Time and Space podcast.
Yes.
What do we have on this week's show, Mr. Moon?
This week, our main features a bit of a discussion about what we've been doing recently, including a talk about Bournemouth last weekend's Bournemouth Film and Comic Con 2016, September. Obviously, because we're back to normal, by the way, this week.
Well, as normal as we can be.
We're back to the normal 4 o'clock slot on Saturday. The previous few weeks ago, we had like 7 o'clock slot on a Thursday whilst we were in Cardiff. So plus we'll be talking a bit about our trip to the Doctor Who experience, because we only got a chance to talk about day one of our Cardiff trip, didn't we?
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Do you know, it's actually, there's quite a lot to talk about this week, isn't there? You know, in terms of things we've been doing and also news. So one of the other things we got on the show this week will be some major news.
It's very exciting this week. We've got some massive news, massive news this week. So
look forward for the show.
I'm sure if you're a Who fan, you would have heard the news, and we'll talk about that later. But this week instead, we'll be starting with our feature. Such a pain how such a breaking bit of news comes out on the week that, the week that we've got this coming.
Do you know, it's the thing is, it's probably the longest gap we've ever had, is it not, between an episode of the podcast?
It is.
Sort of a week and
apart on YouTube, because we did it on Audacity once, and when we did it on Audacity, we've been going since 2013, I think, quite early on 2013, I believe. So, and we've done 176 episodes, and that means we couldn't have done them every week. And when we did it on Audacity, we didn't do them every week.
Yeah.
We just did them like when we could.
Yeah.
But now it's a regular podcast.
Yeah, it's more regular than someone that eats a lot of curry. So,
AKA you.
AKA me, that's right. What about what else we got on the show?
Oh, we're reviewing the sensorites, because we didn't even talk about it last week, really.
We didn't.
So this is our first and full review of the sensorites. So last week we did a special watching of an audio. Yeah. So
we also how do you watch an audio? We did
a special listening of an audio.
We'll also if we've got time, do a Who to Face.
If we've got time. We've got a lot to fit in of this episode.
Have we got any other special features, or is the special feature going to be our trips?
Our special feature is our trips.
Okay. Excellent.
Like when we did London.
I just thought I saw something written down earlier on, something that you had an idea of a special discussion. Maybe that's for a different
That was next week's.
Right, okay.
That I talked to you about.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that at the end of the show.
Good. Right, in that case, shall we kick off with... Should we do the news first, or are we going to do our...
What do you think?
Let's do the news first. Yeah.
Okay, let me get the news up, because we have some very big news this week.
Are you doing live tweets today, by the way? Are you going to be
Yes, I will be. I will be later on. News this week is that Power of the Daleks is to return as an animated episode for its 50th anniversary.
Now that is really, really big news, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because this is one where Am I right in thinking the story was lost in its entirety?
Yeah, it is. Yeah? It's lost in entirety, and it's very important as a story because this was Patrick Troughton's first story as the Doctor, so it's only been aired once. People have only seen it once, I think.
Is that right? So it's only ever been seen once. That is astounding.
I guess so.
I mean, that's one of the interesting things about Doctor Who, anyway, isn't it? Because it predates the generation we're in now, where these days, it's very easy to stream something on Netflix, unless it's Doctor Who, of course, and it's not very easy to stream on Netflix. But or you've got things like DVDs, you've got streaming. It's very easy to watch something when you want to watch it. Whereas back in these days, we didn't even have VCRs. There was no way of rewatching everything. The closest anyone would get would be those people that taped things with audio tapes off of the stereo.
Yeah. So BBC Worldwide and BBC America has officially announced the first full story featuring Patrick Troughton as the Doctor, Power of the Daleks, is to be released as an animated version of their 50th anniversary of the broadcast. Now, it was BBC did tweet this, which said something is materialising very soon. Check back at midnight UK time to find out, and that was on Tuesday.
So they posted there a picture of the TARDIS. Is that a picture of the TARDIS from that story?
I think it is.
Oh.
And it was actually leaked on the BBC store. This.
Oh, was it?
Apparently.
Okay. So I bet that got the Doctor Who fandom sort of completely going sort of berserk, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is this true? Oh, is it just a hoax?
We did talk a little bit about this on last week's show, and we said that it was a mirror rumour. Deacle thought the mirror wouldn't lie on this one, and he was right. I was still unsure, and because I'm unsure about mirror rumours, but they were actually right. So
it's great news, actually, particularly in a year where we've had no new Who. This feels, in a way, like we're getting some new Who, isn't it? Because we've never seen it before.
No, we've never seen it before. It's brilliant. It's exciting. Nobody really knows, apart from those who watched it originally. No people who have been fans in the past 40 or so years have seen this. It's new for the majority of aliens.
And yet it's actually, if I remember rightly, from the Doctor Who magazine polls, it always comes up quite high in the polls, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, yeah.
So that's going to mean either people are making up that they've seen it, or they've heard the audio with presumably shots, and it's great. And the
audio's meant to be quite really good.
Yeah. So, or either that, or when we watch it, it's going to be like, oh, that wasn't as good as I remember it being. But you can imagine that this, all that can happen with this one is that it will increase up the charts. Yeah. You think when people have seen this?
Yeah. So let's read a bit of the feature that's been written. It's one of the Doctor's most celebrated adventures, and yet no complete film recordings of the Power of the Daleks are known to have survived. The master negatives were destroyed in an archive purge in 1974. BBC Worldwide and BBC America have announced that a brand new black and white animation based on audio recordings of the programme featuring using the original cast, surviving photographs and film clips will be released via the BBC store 50 years to the minute after its only UK broadcast on BBC One.
Only UK? I find that astounding, don't you?
I know.
Nobody has seen this since
it was out, first of all. It's so shocking.
What year was that? Make it then? So if it was 50 years ago, so 1960.
Those people who watch it on the 5th of November are going to be that second set of people to ever watch this Doctor Who story. To ever see this with normal people eyes.
I don't think you can. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, sorry, no.
I'm just gassing because it's a podcast and that's what we do. We gas. We talked earlier on about whether or not this was like a great Christmas present. I don't think you can wait till Christmas for this one. Surely you've got to get this one pre-ordered and ready to arrive straight away, haven't you?
We've got to. This is one that we're going to review on the randomizer. It's a definite.
Yeah.
This will be our fix for the randomizer around November, December time.
Yeah. I don't think you should. I think you just get this one.
Really?
Yeah, because it's we want to be talking about it when on this podcast when it's fresh.
Yeah, we do.
So I think you just got to get that. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a few bits where people associated with the project are talking a bit about it on the website. Are you gonna share any of that, or
no, I'll just read the actual article. Okay. I usually skip over those bits. You can see this full article on the show notes on thislismean.weebly.com. So the 6 half-hour episodes feature the regeneration, or as it was called then, the renewal, of First Doctor William Hartnell into Second Doctor Patrick Troughton as the Time Lord and his companions Polly, Anik Wills and Ben Michael Craze do battle with the Daleks on the planet Vulcan. Doctor Who Power of the Daleks was a joint commission by both BBC Worldwide and BBC America and is produced by the team behind the highly successful animation of Lost Dad's Army episode, A Stripe for Fraser, first released on the UK's BBC Store in February this year. The producer and director is Charles Norton, with character designs from acclaimed comic book artists Martin Geracke and Adrian Salmon.
In a way, is this the first time they've released anything which is a total cartoon?
Yes.
So we've not had that before.
This is a big first for Doctor Who.
I would really love... I know they're obviously very expensive to produce these sorts of things, but I hope what we're seeing here is a recognition of the BBC really acknowledging the great material that they've got, apologising to fans for having the blooming things deleted in the first instance, and actually let's see all of these deleted episodes return this way. I know it is costly, but
not all of them. I don't think BBC probably have quite a lot of money, but I don't know whether we can get all of them. I think they'll do them gradually. I think over the next couple of years, I think there'll be one a year from now on. I bet next year they'll do like Evil of the Daleks, or they'll probably do a 50th. They might do a 50th anniversary story for each year to celebrate its 50th.
I guess a lot of it depends
and then go back to other stories in the next few years. A
lot depends on how successful this is, isn't it? If the Doctor Who fandom and perhaps others as well really take to it, then maybe we'll see more.
It looks really good. I mean, we'll talk through it. I'll show you the video now if you want to see this.
Yeah, let's put it on.
Let's put it on and do a live commentary of it.
So we've got a bit of footage here. I'm intrigued to see this. 50 years after its first transmission. Ooh. So we're seeing
this? A man looking out. A lost classic returns.
I like this. So we've got like a bit of a trailer. Ooh.
Power of the Daleks. Coming soon.
I'll tell you what, that actually looks really good. It looks, I mean, we had the cartoon sequences that we've seen before for things like, trying to think which episodes we saw. Was it Moonbase?
The Moonbase. I think that might be the only one you've watched.
Yeah. But
no, I've seen loads of them now.
That looked a lot better. I mean, the cartoony bits are good on there, but they're not proper cartoons still, are they? They're better, a lot better than watching, say, the pictures I've seen a few times. But that looked like a proper cartoon.
It does look much better as a technique. It looks like it's going to be really good. It's a great buy for Doctor Who fans, and it will be initially released on the BBC Store on Saturday, 5th of November at 5:50, which is the exact time of its first release, and the others released on consecutive days thereafter. It will then be shown on BBC America on the 12th of November. The DVD will be available from 21st of November. No other regions have been announced apart from the United Kingdom as of yet.
So get my head on it. So they'll be there to download, will they, presumably, on the 5th of November. So you would pay to download it?
I guess so.
Yeah? And then it'd be DVD after that. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, digital download, the BBC Store. So what are you going to go for? You're going to go for the digital download, or are you going to wait and get the?
I'm going to wait to get the DVD.
Okay. Yeah.
The DVD is always worth it a bit more.
Yeah.
But if there's like a rapid amount in price that, that's decreased.
It's probably on Amazon. I mean, if you open the tab on here and look at Amazon, amazon.co.uk, I bet you it's got a page on here already because they tend to have things quite a long time in advance. So here we are. I love the way we do these things live, don't you? Daleks, isn't it? So here we go. Power of the Daleks.
£13.50.
There we go. £13.50. Available for pre-order.
Ooh.
Well, that's not a bad price, really, is it?
No, I've read it was £20.
Had you? Is that the same thing? That looks like it, doesn't it? Get £1 off DVD, yeah. No, £13.50. Maybe it's the Blu-ray, probably.
Oh,
yeah. So what do we get on here? Does it tell us what we get as bonuses? So now look, see, there's people excited about it already. They've rated it even though they've not actually seen it yet. Okay, well, we won't bore you as we mess about with that, but look, it's already the #1 bestseller in children and family.
Really?
I got a feeling it's going to be quite big, actually, didn't you? I'm hoping that it will be one of these things that makes them reevaluate what they've done with what they've got there at the moment.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question then, but I've got a feeling that was probably going to be the theme of the next week's big item. I was going to say to you, what other episodes would you most like to see in cartoon form? But I'm assuming that's probably a question for us to discuss in detail at another time.
Do you think we should discuss that in detail? Because if not, it's our. We did do a tweet earlier, so.
Well, that's probably what I saw your tweet.
It could be a live. Do you think it should be the live?
I think we should
discussion?
I think we should have a discussion on it. Yeah.
So all throughout the hour, just going to do it now. All throughout the hour. Okay, sorry. All throughout the hour, we're going to be discussing Doctor Who episodes we'd like to return as animated episodes. So which Doctor Who episodes would you like to see animated next after Power of the Daleks? You can tweet that at hashtag what should be animated next. Feel free to set up something on some other source of social media, but it's now out on X, DR, Who, Time and Space, and you could hashtag it with what should
yada yada yada.
What should be animated next? So please, if you know something, if you want to join in, just discuss with that hashtag.
So, I mean, what's available? I mean, if we were looking at it and saying, well, let's ignore the ones where there's one part or two parts missing. I mean, a good example of that, Underwater Menace, which was released relatively recently with a couple of episodes missing, and they just did the old picture.
I hated that, but parts 2 and 3 of Underwater Menace were really good.
Now, perhaps what we should be hoping for is they eventually come back and fill the gaps on things like that with cartoons. But if we're looking at ones which are lost in their entirety, what are the ones that you think would be most beneficial to?
I'd like to see the Highlanders, because
that
that's first Jamie story.
And that's all lost, is it?
Yeah, that's all lost, and it's only a 4-parter, so it won't cost them too much.
Yeah. Okay.
And no, I'm. You see, the thing is, even though I'd like to see the animated versions of them, the Underwater Menace, I won't. I may like, if the Underwater Menace ever is found.
Yeah.
Then I will get that DVD and probably sell the other one. But if there's animated versions, I'm not going to, because I could, if they don't sell, potentially end up with 3 DVDs of the Underwater Menace with different variants of parts 1 and 4. I don't want that really, but
I tell you one I think is completely missing. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm obviously not the walking Who encyclopedia that you are. But the Weird in Space.
Yes, that is missing.
Sideman one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, most of it is.
Actually, I mean, there's a big chunk of Patrick Troughton's era which is missing, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd like to see Evil of the Daleks animated.
Yeah.
And The Abominable Snowman. But William Hartnell-wise, I'd like to see Celestial Toymaker.
Is that lost in its entirety again?
Oh no, there's part 4. Part 4 is released, but that might be good.
Okay, well, a similar question then. If there's one single part of an episode surviving, so like the Celestial Toymaker, would you rather they released it with all cartoon or release it with the missing episodes in it? So I know I've got a preference. I'll come on to in a minute.
I think maybe they should do it all animated, but have a bonus special features option for the normal edition, like they did with Invasion of the Dinosaurs, where you could turn it to colour for the first part. Yeah.
No, I think that's exactly the same thing as I would suggest. So
I think the Celestial Toymaker might have been filmed in colour.
Okay. I mean, another point here. We'll talk a little bit later on about Bournemouth Comic Con, and in fact we've got a separate video where we'll be talking about it. But as we're having this discussion now, I'm going to mention this.
Yeah.
We had the benefit of talking to Peter Purvis.
Yes.
At the Bournemouth Comic Con.
Yeah.
And we got into a discussion around his favourite episode, which was the massacre
of St.
Bartholomew's Eve, which again is another lost one. So perhaps ones like that.
Fury from Deep, which Deborah Watling said about. So.
But if we're thinking about Massacre, I mean, Peter was talking in detail about the fact there was a really good sound recording of that. So ones like that maybe would be useful to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some of these made again. So hashtag what should be animated next? Tell us.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see whether we get any responses from that, because
but that's our discussion this episode. If you want to tweet along to that, hashtag what should be animated next.
So is there anything else news-wise?
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Got quite a lot of news this week.
Quite waylaid, didn't we, on that one? It's probably taken up most of the show. So there probably won't be a Who to Face.
There won't be, actually. I'm sorry, guys. Another week of no Who to Face, but that took us about 15-20 minutes. About as long as the Paul McKee one. So, some exciting news for New Who. Another bit of exciting news, but this time it's not confirmed. Peter Capaldi has let slip that Series 10 of Doctor Who will return in April 2017. He said, we'll be on at Christmas and then it starts again in April. He told a fan when asked in between recent filming. Let's watch this clip of him.
Well, we're on Christmas and then it starts again.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
When's your birthday?
April.
What date?
The 3rd.
Oh, mine's the 14th.
My birthday's November the 14th, so that is...
Yeah, copy that.
April.
Going back in now, that's how it goes.
Oh!
That's lovely to get a bit of footage of that, isn't it? I really like that. Where is this? I'm trying to think whether this is somewhere we went to when we went to Cardiff.
I don't know.
We've got actually when we were talking. I mean, we've got the video that we'll launch later where we talk about Bournemouth Comic Con and Cardiff. We forgot to talk about we went to the museum as well, which was a few things, didn't we?
Yeah. This isn't much of a surprise. The show was always due back in spring, and Easter weekend was a likely slot. As used several times in the past, that would make it 15th of April 2017 if it holds true again. Of course, the BBC have not confirmed this at the time of writing and are unlikely to do so until much closer till the air.
Ooh. So great news that. It feels like we're treated this week, don't we? So we get an old classic returning and the new series returning.
Yeah, and we've got a new spin-off coming as we knew before in October. So only a few weeks to go until class, and it's been announced that 3 tie-in novels are to be released alongside series premiere in October. So BBC Books have announced that a series of 3 novels will be released in October to tie in with the premiere of new spin-off Class in October. The 3 stories extended the fictional universe created by Patrick Ness are Joyride by Guy Adams, who has previously wrote More Than This. He's wrote More Than This, Moving Target, Made You Look, and All Consuming Fire for Big Finish. The Stone House by A.K. Benedict, who has written The Victorian Age, and What She Does Next Will Astound You by James Goss, who has wrote loads of stuff for the Doctor Who experience and for the Doctor Who stuff, and also he's written for Big Finish quite a lot. So they will the 3 novels will be published on 27th of October 2016. A new description for Class has also been revealed alongside this. It says that airing this October on BBC 3, this new Doctor Who spin-off is set at Coal Hill School, which has been a special significance for Doctor Who fans. It's not only the primary school where the Doctor's most recent companion Clara Oswald taught, but it featured the very first Doctor. It was featured in the very first Doctor Who episode in 1963. Class centres on the adventures of an all-new group of students at Coal Hill and will have the action, heart and adrenaline of the very best young adult fiction. Dangers breaking through the walls of time and space, a darkness coming to a London unprotected, a new group of heroes to root for, and new enemies to hide from behind the sofa.
Ooh.
What do you think of that description then?
Oh, it sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Mm.
It does sound exciting.
What do you think of their decision to write some novels alongside it?
Well, I mean, I guess the thing is we've not seen the main thing yet, have we? So we don't really know whether it's something we're looking forward for or not looking forward to.
They haven't wrote a. I don't think they're writing any normal Doctor Who novels this year.
Yeah, maybe not. But I mean, let's wait and see.
It's not
that long, is it?
Let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay, next bit of news. John Barrowman returns to the Doctor Who universe as Captain Jack Harkness in The Lives of Captain Jack, a set of 4 full audio adventures from Big Finish, made under license from BBC Worldwide. Captain, immortal adventurer with a wicked sense of everything, has led an extraordinary set of lives. We all know he travelled with the Doctor. We all know he ran Torchwood. But what else did he get up to? The 4 adventures in this full cast series from Big Finish provide some of the answers. Starring John Barrowman and guest starring Russell Tovey, who was in Doctor Who Being Human and Looking. Camille Paduri, who was Jackie Tyler in Doctor Who. Alexander Vlahos from Merlin, Versailles and the Confessions of Dorian Gray, Sarah Douglas, Superman 2, and Space 1999, Scott Harron from Wizards vs. Aliens, Aaron Neal from Class, and Katie Manning, who's Jo from Doctor Who. The 4 adventures see Captain Jack in different times and on different planets, doing battle with a variety of strange and horrible enemies, from Mother Nothing to the Council of Three.
So is Katie Manning playing herself, or does she just play other characters? Do you know in this instance?
I'll look it up for you. Big Finish Productions, the official site. The Lives of Captain Jack. Lives of Captain Jack.
She has played other characters, hasn't she? Before? I mean, there's a number of them. I like, for instance, I downloaded one of the Judge Dredd and the Strontium Dog ones, and there's different people that we know from Who playing different people.
Mother Nothing. It's Crystal D's in it.
Is she?
Yeah.
Mm.
No, she's playing Mother Nothing.
Mm.
So The Year After I Died by Guy Adams is the first one. Wednesdays for Beginners by James Goss is second. James Goss writes the third, One Enchanted Evening, and Month 25 ends the stories by Guy Adams. What do you think of this new? Do you think it entices you in from the description?
I'm not a big lover of the Captain Jack character, if I'm being honest, but I am a big lover of what I've heard so far of Big Finish. So who knows? It won't be the first one that I reach to be fair. What about yourself?
Yeah, it does sound quite good, but it's not my choice, I would say.
I'd head to the River Song ones in advance of this.
Yeah. But, you know...
But you used to love Who characters.
Yeah.
Right?
But related to this, and Big Finish related, got some more Big Finish news and Torchwood. From early next year, Big Finish its Torchwood range is going to continue. The range continues in March 2017 for 6 more stories, with producer and writer James Goss giving an exclusive sneak peek on the Mysterious Moon show notes website. Each of the new Torchwood stories can be bought for $7.99 on download or £9.99 on CD, which unlocks a digital version for free on release. Well, the subscription collects the 6 new tales for a very special pre-release price of £40 on download and £45 on CD, both going up by £5 at the end of March. The first 12 stories in the Thrilling range are still available on CD or download, either individually or in collected value bundles. Check out our other Torchwood titles, including the recently announced anniversary special Torchwood, the Torchwood Archive, and also Torchwood 1 Before the Fall, which stars Yvonne Hartzman. The Torchwood Archive is the anniversary special, as Torchwood is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
Well, that's hard to believe as well, isn't it? I do look forward. I will look forward to watching some Torchwood when you're old enough to be able to watch it.
Yeah,
we'll sit down and. Well, perhaps that's actually what we should do. Once you get to an age where you're old enough to watch it, we should add the Torchwood episodes to the randomizer.
Yeah, I think we should. So, we'll save the other bits of news till next week, but the final bit is another bit of... Actually, no, I'll talk about this bit here. This should have come a bit before that last bit, but Peter Capaldi and Pearl McKee will be heading to Canada next month, and Space are also offering fans a chance to meet their heroes at a special event in Toronto. The team will also be appearing on the special edition of Space's flagship daily entertainment talk show, Inner Space. The special event will also feature showrunner Stephen Moffat and executive producer Brian Minchin. It takes place on October the 5th. Tickets are also being given... Sorry, if I hit you there. Being given away 3 contests, with the first contest taking place this weekend at Fan Expo Canada. That was last weekend, by the way. One prize consists of 2 tickets to the event. 1 ticket includes 1 meet and greet with the Doctor Who team in attendance, and 1 ticket to the tapping of Inner Space Presents Doctor Who. To enter, you need to follow Space on Twitter for a daily riddle, and then head to the Space booth or at Fan Expo Canada. Entrance must be 19 or over. There'll be 4 riddles, 1 each day, so 4 chances to enter via riddle. A 5th chance to win is by signing to the Crave TV newsletter, also at the Space booth, where you're entered an additional draw.
Cool.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you, Mark Freak Super Geek, for saying the wheel in space for me.
That was in response to the hashtag of...
What's the
hashtag?
I forgot now. I did it wrong. What should be animated next?
What should be animated next?
But I put it as what should animated next by accident.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So let's do
Another live tweet coming out.
should be animated next in Doctor Who DVDs after Power of the Daleks.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah.
So, do we have anything further to say on the news front? Well, seeing as though actually the podcast is over halfway through.
Well, no. So
else.
yes, we should save the news till the rest of the news till next week, just in case there's no news next week, because there's chances that, because we've had such a big week of news this week, such a big week in the Whoniverse, that I could not be. It could not be very high in news quality next week.
Okay, so
I'm going to pop away. Can you just
I will
introduce
us into
the next
bit of the stuff, which was we were going to have a little bit of a chat about some of the things we've been doing. So in particular, this time last week we were having a day off, as you know, but before that we've been to Cardiff, and we've got a separate video where we're going to talk in more detail about this, but I think we'll touch on some of the main bits as well. We went to Cardiff because we were going to check out some of the New Who locations, and also we were going to give you a bit of a sort of roundup of the Doctor Who experience.
Yeah.
And then moving on from that, we were also going to talk a little bit about the Bournemouth Film and Comic Con.
Yeah.
Subject to a separate video, but we'll chat briefly about it anyway.
What bit should we talk about now? Should we talk about the actual Bournemouth Comic Con and not about the talk today?
Yeah, can do in
and then
in
talk
detail.
and say, the talk will be in full detail. We'll mention like every section of it.
Yeah, but we'll perhaps pick out a few of the
key moments.
bits. Okay, so what we're going to do first, Cardiff or Comic Con?
I don't mind.
Let's do it in order, shall we? Let's talk about
do it
Cardiff to start with.
So we did talk. To be fair, we did talk about day 1 of Cardiff on the podcast last week.
We did, so we probably don't need to go into
Cardiff
that.
Castle and stuff.
It's probably more so the Doctor Who experience.
So you can also get pictures of the Doctor Who experience at Doctor Who Time and Space on Twitter. But we got there on the day. Doctor Who experience, got there nice and early.
In the rain.
Yeah, and we walked up to the studios. No
Yeah.
sign of Capaldi or Pearl or anyone Doctor Who related.
What I should say actually is,
Peter Capaldi goes out for a pint with Stephen Moffat and Benedict Cumberbatch.
that would have been nice, wouldn't it? I took quite a lot of photos. In fact, in total, was some stupid. It was like nearly 300. It might even been more than 300.
It was more than. Wait, no, that was. Yeah, it was about 300 from Cardiff.
From Cardiff in total, wasn't it? So I'm gradually working my way through editing some of them.
Yeah,
and
so you can see some of them on our Twitters.
Yeah.
Well, the Twitters.
You've been tweeting a few on Doctor Who time space, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
Abbreviated Doctor. So.
Yeah. So once we got into the Doctor Who experience, we had a quick look at the Daleks that were alongside, but then we went straight into the queue for the interactive area, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was
a bit of a gander at some of the Time Lord costumes and things like that.
I haven't posted them yet, but
No.
I will. It was a great interactive session. It was really cool. We won't go into it in full detail just in case you haven't been yet, but did you like the interactive bit? We will just talk about the interactive bits.
Just without going into the story, what you do have is you have two main types of villains in there.
Yeah.
You've got the Daleks. That's
Yeah.
done really well. Sort of an Asylum of the Daleks sort of theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, with sleeping Daleks and weeping angels.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised how they didn't do the Cybermen in it somehow.
Yeah.
Not at all in the actual
No, but there's a lot of focus on them in the actual
exhibit.
themselves, isn't there? So maybe that's why. There's only so much they can do, isn't it? And it was a good story. It's great to see the interactive bits with Capaldi. I thought
Capaldi was great in it.
Yeah, really feisty and grumpy.
I think it was only out about the time when Series 9 was out.
Yeah.
It's only out relatively recently.
Yeah, because I guess they would have updated it previous to that. It would have all been a Matt Smith story, wouldn't it?
So, that was good. The exhibits may have been even better. They were brilliant.
What was your favourite costumes that were there, do you think? Or exhibits?
My favourite exhibit was the Series 9 exhibit.
Yeah.
Other than that, I did love the Foretold. I did love Davros from Remembrance and stuff.
Yeah.
I loved K1, the giant robot.
Yeah. What was it? There were some new ones there as well, wasn't there?
I loved Morbius.
Morbius, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool, wasn't it? Yeah.
And knew who Davros was great in the Series 9 area.
Yeah.
The Veil, the Fisher King.
Yeah.
Zygons, all sorts of great villains.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was I really enjoyed walking around the exhibition. To be honest. I thought it was really good. It was really good value for money as well. I thought actually for sort of what was it? Was it about 20 quid for both of us, or 25 quid for both of us, something like that? For a couple of hours entertainment, you know, it was the same sort of price.
It was our main focus. It was the main reason we went to Cardiff, but the trip overall was great.
They also had before when we came out of that main exhibition, and you'll see some pictures in the video that will be accompanying this, I guess. Sorry, not accompanying this, but accompanying the separate behind the sofa video that will come out shortly. So you see some pictures from that, but also they coming out from that before we went into the merchandise area. There was a display of Target book covers.
Yeah.
And that was really cool, actually.
It was really
I don't know if that was the same one that they'd previously had in the Museum of Comics.
Was that in London?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it probably was.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that. That was good as well.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was really cool. Yeah. But before that, we looked at the shop in the Doctor Who experience. Loads of Doctor Who goodies.
Yeah.
You know? We got some T-shirts for the Bournemouth Comic Con.
Rather fetching, I thought.
Yeah.
They were.
He's got Deco's got a Paul McGann, and I've got a Tom Baker.
But they're actually done like the costumes, aren't they? Which are really good. They had a few there, didn't they? So aside from the two that we bought, they also had the Capaldi costume
and the David Tennant costume.
Yeah.
If
we'd have had more money, I just would have bought them all because they were really great, weren't they?
They were. I bought the DVD of Survival, which is ready for. It will be a few weeks when I watch it. I have a day off on the 30th, so I'll be watching that then. So on the day after that, I'll be giving you my insight on Survival.
Assuming it doesn't come up on the randomised today. It might do. You never know.
I really do want to watch it first, though.
Okay.
Because, I like to watch them beforehand.
Yeah.
So then I can give a second view for me when it's new to you.
Mm.
But Power of the Daleks, it'll be new to both of us because when we do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to watch it before. we do the randomizers. That's quite exciting.
I know we as you know, we go off on tangents and everything like that. Do you think that next time when the new series comes out in April or whatever, we always try and watch a few together? Do you think we should do some live post-episode discussions?
What do you mean?
Like if you stay over a few times, for the times when I'm not gigging,
Yeah.
stay over, we'll watch them live here,
Yeah.
and then do a straight afterwards brief
Yeah, maybe we should.
chat,
And then talk about it properly.
and then talk about probably the following week.
Yeah. Okay. Would it be a sighting video?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, cool. So that was our trip to Cardiff.
Yeah.
We then came back on the Friday, had a day off.
Late on the Friday.
Late on the Friday.
We
yeah.
didn't have our normal Saturday, and that's one of the major reasons that we didn't have the podcast on the Saturday.
Mhm. But then very early on the Sunday, we headed off to Bournemouth Comic Con. Very early, mainly because the trains are all askew.
Yes.
They were doing works on the tracks, which meant that rather than being about an hour journey for us on the train, it was 2 hours.
Oh,
Damn them.
dreadful. So that meant it overall about as long as just over the length of our Cardiff trip on the way there.
No, it was actually. Yeah, you're right. It was. What made it on the way back, aside from the fact that we had a sort of like a 2 hour train trip back, or train and coach trip back, the buses were all on strike here, so I ended up walking home as well. So it was a really long day for me. It was a nightmare of public transport, but it was a good day, so we don't care. It was fun.
So we'll talk briefly about the Comic Con. If you want to hear more about it, go to the Behind the Sofa episode.
When that launches, which will be probably during the week, because I'm away
Yes.
tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to edit it
Yeah.
tomorrow. But
So it should be out during the week.
Yeah.
As soon as we can.
yeah,
As soon
indeed.
as we can. It will be out from Tuesday onwards. Some point
Mhm.
from Tuesday it will be done.
Indeed.
So yeah. So Comic Con, second one in Bournemouth in 2016.
Yeah.
Not as many guests, but a few Doctor Who ones there.
So who was there?
Deborah Watling, Peter Purvis, David Goodison, Richard Franklin, and Don Sumter.
Yeah, that's right.
If you count him.
I think he talked quite a bit about Doctor Who, didn't he?
Yeah.
So,
'Cause he's been in it a few times.
so-
And he was a major part in Hellbent.
yeah. So in fact, he was worthy of a Doctor Who talk more than the woman from Battlefield.
Yeah, he was.
So it was a smaller event than last time. It was, rather than being a 2-floor one, it was a 1-floor one.
Yeah.
But still pretty busy.
Yeah, good merchandise there, I thought.
Yeah.
Good.
I bought a few things, didn't you?
Yeah, those were the Smiler figure. Obviously some signings.
Yeah.
And Jabba the Hutt pop vinyl.
But they didn't have
Star Wars.
the new wave of Who figures there yet, did they?
Pops.
Yeah.
No,
So these are due out. But they're out now, aren't they?
they're out now, but you know.
I'm going to London tomorrow, so maybe I'll have a look for them. So if I can find them.
So first signing, Peter Purvis.
Yeah.
Stephen from Doctor Who.
Lovely chap,
Yeah.
very lovely.
We met two people this time. by the way.
Yeah.
Talked a bit about his favourite episode and missing episodes. His favourite was a missing episode, which was the Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve.
He talked a little bit about the fact that you could actually listen to that and some of the other ones, because although the episodes were missing, they were quite good quality remastered versions of the soundtracks, which I
and I
imagine
think we
is
might
what
have
they.
talked about that earlier on in the show.
Yeah, I think we did,
Power of
yeah.
Daleks.
I'd imagine that's
discussion.
possibly what they've used for Power of the Daleks.
Yeah. We got a spot for lunch then.
Yeah.
Watched the excruciating, as Deacle puts it, cosplay blind date, because I'm reading off Deacle's notes.
We then met a bit later in the afternoon the very lovely Deborah Watling, who played Victoria in the Patrick Troughton era.
Not Vicky, Victoria.
Yeah.
She did a test for me to see whether I was a big fan and a as big as a Doctor Who encyclopedia as Decal had let on.
Because I basically picked you up a bit, didn't I? I was saying about how much you loved classic Who as well as new Who, and that you were walking encyclopedia. And I told her a bit about the podcast, and I think she was suitably impressed.
Yeah, very nice. She was a very lovely lady, and talked a lot. So her favourite was Fury from the Deep. She liked how she defeated the monster with her scream. Yeah.
And we then talked a little bit about what our favourite episodes were. Lewis said his favourite was Tomb of the Cybermen.
But the note said Invasion.
That's because I wrote them up with that off from memory, and my memory's poor because I'm an old man. And also, I said that my favourite was Enemy of the World, and she sort of came some nice feedback about Enemy of the World, didn't she? She was saying about how great Patrick Troughton was in it, and playing both the characters.
Sorry, I've just been laughing a little bit about the freak out thing earlier on.
Yeah.
Freak out! You won't get that, guys. Okay.
Really, really lovely lady.
Yeah, really lovely lady.
I think we could have sat talking to her for ages, and I think she would have carried on chatting to us for ages.
We should get her as a guest on the podcast because she'll talk over the hour-long slot.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a long time.
She's really nice, some of them. It was a bit embarrassing, wasn't it? Because by the time we'd finished talking to her, there was this really big queue building up behind us. But it was only partly our fault, I think. It was partly Deborah's as well.
But we don't need to blame her.
No,
she's nice. We'll talk. Should we skip over the other talks, but we'll say who they are?
Yeah.
So we saw the talks from the stuntman that appeared in some Doctor Who, Royce Gamble, and Donald Sumter, who appeared in Hellbent, Wheel in Space, and the Sea Devils.
Well, we'll just say with Donald Sumter. We won't go into detail with his stuff. We talk in the other accompanying video. We're talking a lot more detail.
He also plays Master Lurin from Game of Thrones.
And we talk a bit about that in the Behind the Sofa that will be following it in the week. But what was interesting is that there was one question that somebody said to him, is there any part that you've played that you would like to revisit? And he said, basically the leader of the Time Lords, which is Rassilon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who he played in Hellbent. So hopefully we will get to see him do that at some point.
So Deborah Watling, Peter Purvis, Richard Franklin and David Goodison did a talk.
Yeah.
What should we talk about?
Well, as with the other bits, you can hear the main gumph that we talked about in the separate video. But I think probably the key things that came out from it were they talked a bit about their favourite episodes again. That we've talked about Peter and Deborah's already, but David Goodson obviously said Destiny of the Daleks
because that's his only one.
That was his only one, and Richard Franklin talked a little bit about Planet of the Spiders because of the fact he got to wear normal clothes rather than wear a unit uniform.
Yeah.
I thought probably the most interesting bit, if we're not going to go into the detail here, I think probably the most interesting bit was when they started talking about locations, and they started talking about Peter and Deborah started talking about the way they used to film them in the old days, and basically for a 20-minute episode they'd be filming it for only about an hour and a quarter, which is astounding, really. Yeah. And so as a result of that, they used to churn out a lot of episodes. You get sort of 40 episodes, 47 episodes.
So they filmed it live, and you can get that definitely whilst we were watching the sensorites. We noticed it, and we'll talk a bit about the sensorites after this. But
but they didn't really in those days film much on location.
No,
it was all done
in the studio.
In the studio. Yeah. So that's probably the main things. Aside from that, we had a bit of a sort of a first from Deborah Watling when talking about Big Finish.
Yeah, and it's exclusive. You can hear it first from us. That on this live podcast, it's been announced that she will do some more.
Yeah, so more.
But when? We do not know. Sorry, guys, but she is going to do some more. That's good news for you Big Finish fans.
I presume that's going to be another one with Jamie and the second Doctor, played by Fraser Hind again, as well as playing Jamie.
Hines. You keep saying Hind.
Is it Heinz? Is it? Sorry, my bad.
We've met him.
It doesn't mean I remember. As I say, I'm an old man.
Not as old as Peter Turpin.
No, that's right. And he had all his faculties, didn't he? So probably the last thing worth mentioning really was when they talked a little bit about who they would come back with if they were offered. And Peter and David both said they would love to come back as the Doctor.
Yeah. And Deborah said she could come back as the first female Doctor.
And then Richard said he'd love to, but he's never been asked.
Poor Richard.
Oh.
Poor Richard.
But it was a really great talk, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Completely different than, say, I mean, I think if you take the talk that we heard in London with the three Doctors, that was different because they were bouncing a lot of things off each other. There was a really great rapport across the three of them. I don't necessarily think you had the same rapport here, but it was just really interesting hearing it. And I think, in particular for me, I really like listening to the two that we'd spoken to earlier, Peter Purvis and Deborah Watley. Yeah. That's not saying that the others were interesting because both Richard and Dave were interesting too, but possibly because we'd already been talking to them, I felt more linked to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a really good event, I thought.
Yeah.
Great event. We went to see some of the cosplay, entertaining as always. A few Matt Smiths, lots of superheroes, and various Japanese characters. And the Japanese, we just found out just after recording the Behind the Sofa, so it's not on there, but we found out that the Japanese character person with the weird mask won.
Yeah. Which I think is the best one.
I thought it was one of the best ones as well.
So we look forward to the next Comic Con in Bournemouth, whenever that may be. Whether it's before the London one, who knows? Assuming they do another one, of course.
Well, they've confirmed there's going to be the London one for 28th and 30th. So that's the only confirmed one for us so far. Bournemouth.
Unless we travel further afield.
Bournemouth, it will probably be announced in the next month or so. You know, I think in next month it should be announced if it is going to happen. Yeah. But do you think it'll be before or after?
I think we will get another one, but I reckon it will be a different time. I'm going to say it's going to be end of August.
Yeah.
Only one next year.
Yeah. Okay.
In Bournemouth, I reckon.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, good event from Showmasters. Thank you guys for always organising a great event.
So time's getting on a little bit, and so we're definitely not going to have time for who to face.
No.
But one of the things we should talk about a little bit is
we should talk about a lot because it's took out 2 weeks of our time.
Yeah, no, that's right.
The hassle doing it on Carver.
One of the as you listeners know, we have our item, the randomizer, where we select a episode to watch by complete random. We then watch that episode and we then talk about it. A few weeks back, the last time when we were able to do it, we ran the Magic Randomizer and it selected the Sensorites,
which is a William Hartnell story. So it's very, very. It's in the first series. So this is our third randomizer episode in about 2 months. Our third randomizer episode in about 2 months of the William Hartnell, and we hadn't had any before.
I know, it's funny, isn't it, really? The only appearance of the Sensorites, although actually in many respects it feels like the Ood were largely based on them. Couple of notable things. We have a display of Susan's telepathy, which is interesting, but also, and we talked about this when we were watching it earlier on, there's also a brief reference to, although it doesn't say where they came from, it references the Doctor and Susan's home planet, and it talks about it having like an orange sky, which of course all the pictures that we've seen when they've used Gallifrey in more recent episodes have always had a very orange sky. So I assume that's where that's come from. Shall I give a brief synopsis of the story?
Yeah, you can do, like you usually do.
Okie dokie. So basically what we have here is the TARDIS arrives on a moving spaceship, and they think on first inspection that the crew that are there are dead. But one of them then regains consciousness, and Ian sort of revives him, and as well as a woman called Carol. They tell the Doctor and his companions that they were on an exploration mission from Earth, and they are orbiting a place called the Sensphere. They've, however, come up with a bit of trouble with the inhabitants of that planet, the sensorites, who refuse to let them leave. They then sort of get visited by the sensorites, and they stop the travellers leaving as well. So they basically steal the TARDIS key. So as a result of that, the Doctor starts trying to negotiate with them, and it opens up a whole big story. And we find out that Carol's fiance, a chap called John, has had his mind broken by the sensorites, and he's completely doolally. And we also find out that the sensorites are dying out. They're a dying breed. Yeah. Basically, there's something is killing them. The Doctor works out that this is a sort of poison.
Yeah.
And he then sets out to first of all find a cure for that poison, and then also find out what it is or who is doing it. Now, it's a story largely around the sensorites, who are not an evil monsters race, are they?
No,
they're actually, the majority of them are really, really nice. They're wary of humans because of some of the problems they've had. But actually, there's just a small handful of them, humans, and are trying to wipe them out.
Yeah.
And that's probably enough of a story.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
So my verdict.
Yeah.
I think this story is quite underrated.
Yeah.
Much better than people say it is. However, it could have been a 4-parter. It is quite long. It's longer than it needs to be. Maybe they could have excluded part 3 or the majority of it and slimmed it down.
Yeah.
And I'd say parts of 5 and 6 could have been slimmed down and put in other parts. So yeah.
No, I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I think it felt like particularly the 3rd episode sort of dragged a little bit. And actually by the time I know the story got rounded up in part 6, but actually part 6 didn't really add a significant amount to it. They could have just tagged some of that bit onto the end of it, I think. So I agree with you. It could have been a 4-parter, but it wasn't. It was a 6-parter, and it was still a very good 6-parter.
As I said, very, very underrated.
Yeah.
Very low in Dorm. I quite like it. It's not a pure classic.
No.
But it's good. The sensorites are great.
Yeah.
It's quite a good story, quite a good few episodes. It's just my criticism is that it's a part too long, at least. It's
interesting. I'm sort of reading a little bit on Wikipedia about the episode, and it says there that Russell T Davies said he wanted the Ood to resemble the sensorites, and that he likes to think that they come from a planet near the Sensphere. And apparently that was then confirmed in the 10th Doctor episode, Planet of the Ood, in which the Doctor visits the Ood's home world, which is the Ood sphere, and mentions that he once visited the Sensphere in the same system. So that adds meat to it. Yeah. Interesting. Episodes 4 and 5.
Yeah.
No Barbara.
No Barbara, no.
We don't know why that is, do we?
No, I think it's because she's been on holiday in not Doctor Who things. She's
always ill or something like that.
Always ill or something. So they made up excuses that she stayed in the spaceship.
And I guess going back to what we were talking about with the discussions we'd had with Peter Purvis and Deborah Watlick, because of the speed that they filmed these episodes, that used to happen quite regularly. Yeah. I mean, Peter Purvis talked to us earlier on about Massacre.
Yeah.
And how he had quite a main role in Massacre, and that was
at least one part of it, I think.
Yeah, and that was largely because during the filming of it, William Hartnell wasn't there.
I think to make up to that, William Hartnell played 2 roles in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I really like it.
Yeah.
I find them quite charming, the first series of them, and I think the fact that they've got the errors and things like that in it, because it's filmed live, there'll be times where they stumble on not just William Hartnell, who was quite renowned for that anyway, but the other characters as well stumble with their words.
Susan said it a few times, and some of the sensorites. But as we said, we pointed out in the episode that it's more realistic.
Yeah.
it's more realistic than just because you always forget things. Now and again, like us, it's a common thing with the universe and with human beings that you will say, I can't remember what I was saying.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, no, definitely. So I would recommend it to people. I like you. I think it's a lot better than people remember.
Yes.
I mean, looking at it with our randomizer list, which I think we've got in front of us now, we've on the randomizer since we started doing it, we've watched 77 episodes.
Yeah.
And you've got it.
Go down.
A bit,
Down.
I've got it in 48th out of 77.
And I have it 51st out of 77. So you've got it a few places above me, about 3 places above me.
It's about sort of 2/3 of the list down, which feels fine to me. Feels right. I think if it was a 4-parter, it would be a lot higher.
Yes, I think so. But if part 3 didn't exist, it would be a lot higher. But it was still it was enjoyable watch. Better than people said it was.
Do you want to get onto the scores?
Yeah. Okay. Monsters.
I really like the sensorites.
Yeah.
I think they were the sort of precursor to the Ood. I'm going to give them an 8.
Character development.
I'd say that's quite strong in this one as well,
Yeah.
really. I think it does work a lot about it. You find out all about Susan and her telepathy.
Yeah.
Telepathy.
Telepathy.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it an 8 for that as well.
Excitement.
Not a very exciting episode. I'd give it a 6 for excitement. Because it's not about excitement.
No. And pace.
Pace, it doesn't go at quick enough pace. So I'm going to give it a 7 pace.
29 out of 40.
Okay.
So all right score.
Yeah.
Average sort of score, I think.
I'd say in terms of an actual score for the episode itself, I'd say probably about 7.6.
Yeah, I'm going to say a 7.7.
Okay.
But, you know, it was better than people say it is, but it's sort of an average sort of episode in terms of quality.
Well, I do like the sensorites, and they're a great idea.
Yeah, they are great. Yeah. So then,
the magic randomizer, which we forgot to mention at the intro, didn't we? That we got the magic randomizer back.
But it's the return of the magic randomizer button, and we click it to find out what episode we'll be watching next week. We've got every single Doctor Who episode that exists. That's a proper Doctor Who episode on there. Obviously, if one comes up that we do not have available,
it's got the deleted ones in there as well, so obviously we can't do that yet.
I bet Power of the Daleks comes up. But
well, let's press it, shall we? Let's see what happens.
Let's see what we've got to review next week.
Press the magic randomizer. Okay, so
we haven't watched that, have we?
No, we haven't. We've had a big chunk of classic episodes of late.
Yes, we have.
This brings us into the final season with Matt Smith. Did you want to introduce it?
It's Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS.
Okay, I'm quite excited about watching that one again, actually, because I don't necessarily think from memory it's one of the best ones.
No, it isn't. It isn't that good. No.
But
I just sorry.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So
I'd just like to point out we haven't had a Tom Baker episode since January.
Right, which is amazing.
Ark in Space.
When you look at the number of episodes that Tom Baker did, that's quite astounding.
We had a big chunk of them in 2015, but we've still got loads of them left.
Yeah.
But no, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. Stay tuned to next week's show to see what our thoughts are on that.
So that probably leads us into our little roundup of what we have got next week. What do we have going next week?
It's episode 177 of Doctor Time and Space, and it's a brand new companion monster analogy series beginning. Not companion monster analogy series.
Companion analogy.
Monster analogy. Companion monster analogy series. Right. We are doing a companion Judge My Daniel special. So it's going to be next week. We're going to be focusing around 1960s companions. We're going to be talking about our favourites, our least favourites, what we thought was good about that era of companions, our favourite, the episodes where we the best episodes of each companions.
Yeah.
I'll fill in with some of those because you haven't seen all of them, and we'll just be generally talking about 1960s companions in Judge My Tenure companions.
Okay, we'll also. What else will we be doing? We'll be talking about Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS as we talk about just a minute ago.
We'll have more news and views.
We may have a Who to Face. You never know.
And we will be pressing the magic
randomizer
ace.
Thank you very much for listening. I'm Dee Cole.
And I'm Lewis Moon.
We will look forward to speaking to you again this time next.
We need to get the theme tune ready.
Oh yeah, the theme tune. Oh, it's in the background on
It's
here.
in the back.
Yeah, so
we'll be talking to you this time next week. Same time.
Same space.
Goodbye. You know what? I never got a chance to say goodbye on that podcast. I never got a chance. It's such a shame, isn't it? Are we still on there? What?